Welcome back to Pro Sports.
As we now are coming up upon the first group stage game against Paraguay for the United States, Aiden, what should we be worrying about going into this game, and what do we need in order to be successful in this group stage?
We really don't need to worry about Paraguay because they just like Elena. Because they have a Elena player who sucks anyway.
I'm talking about Miguel Almiron.
Yeah.
And why does he suck?
Because no goals, no nothing. And their only striker is him.
Yeah, man. I mean, I look at it at this point. If that's the only notable player for Paraguay, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not worried. I think the United States can easily come out of that game
Because we
with a
got
big
the
win.
experienced players out there.
Yeah, we got guys like Anthony Robinson, and we're gonna talk about Miles Robinson, which, by the way, they're not related anyway. We looked this up. They are not brothers. They're not related in any way. But yeah, and I also found out that Anthony Robinson isn't even American. He's British, but he became a citizen because he came to the United States and lived in the United States for a while. But he actually isn't actually. He was born in Middleton, England, which I think was interesting. So yeah, we have a British guy playing for the United States. But yeah, he felt that he was more aligned with the United States, so he became a United States player. But yeah, fantastic player, by the way. He scored a beautiful goal. I don't know if you saw. Remember that goal, Aiden? Beautiful goal, top corner, volley shot. It was awesome. It was. I've never seen that good of a shot from an American player, for that matter. And yeah, it looked good. I mean, we looked solid going for majority of that game, and then we all of a sudden got the Germany ended up tying with Kai Havertz because who was the culprit to not step up and cause those goals to happen? Oh, I know who it was. Miles Robinson. And Miles Robinson, I wasn't really a fan of him to begin with. Aiden, you said you were, but he didn't look good against Germany. He was flat footed. He got beat multiple times. He was not able to keep up with some of the guys that were coming in, and he not to mention he didn't step up and play defense. He just was standing there for majority of the time, trying to look pretty. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of some of these MLS players that are playing in the national team because in reality, the only good players are the guys from Europe. Yeah, it's just a fact because they have better competition. They're playing for better teams because these teams actually care about the sport of soccer and the sport of football, as they would call it in Europe, because it's the one of the things that's different between United States and Europe. United States, you have to buy into the game of soccer, whereas Europe, you can just join any club team as long as you're good, and you don't have to pay anything. That's the thing with the difference between United States soccer and soccer in Europe. So you got to pick and choose your battles, and Tim Reams again. He could be. He can be in that back line, but he can't be in that back line by himself with no other support because just Tim Reams, the guy who's almost 40 years old and can barely even run by himself playing defense because nobody else wants to play defense, then I'm not going to be too confident in our defense with just Tim Reams. Like, Tim Reams kind of impressed me by actually being there and trying to play defense. But again, we need some more support on that defensive line. It's not good. It's awful, and that was by far one of the worst defensive performances. I think if it wasn't for us being so offensive heavy and us really pressuring Germany, I really think we could have won that game a little more. But again, it is what it is, right? All we can do is look forward to the group stages and hopefully we beat Paraguay. Because in reality, the friendly matches don't mean anything. They're just there to give players some playing time. And yeah, so Aiden, what is your prediction for these next group stages? Did you do any predictions? So how about this? Next week, come with a list of all the games for the World Cup and give your predictions for each of the games. All right, because I want to know what you think is going to happen in some of the rest of the group stage games. Got it?
Wait, they United States plays on the 12th.
Yep, that's this weekend. They play against Paraguay. So, what do you think? What do you think the score is going to be?
Sorry, Penguin, you just have a Lena player. I will give the United States 3-1.
I think that's a reasonable score because I don't think the United States can fold. I think because of their defensive struggles, I think it could still be a close game. And weirdly enough, right, Aiden? The one game that Matt Freeze happens to be in the game, we lose. So let's be honest. I think I know who should be the starting goalkeeper. I strongly think it still should be Matt Turner, just simply because of his experience. I would take a guy with more experience, and I get it. He hasn't really shown out in the best moments. But as this is a different World Cup, he has more experience. He's got more knowledge. He played in Europe. He didn't have that in the last World Cup. He was still on the Revolution team the last World Cup. He was still playing for New England when they played the last World Cup. And now that he went to England or to Europe and played in Europe and played in England, and he came back to the United States, played for Revolution, he's been fantastic. He's been one of our best goalkeepers, I would say, of all time. So taking a guy like Matt Turner out of that starting lineup is the most foolish thing you could possibly do. And it's not because we're Revolution fans. It's just simply the facts. He is out of those three goalkeepers. He's on the top seeded team out of all three of those teams. Out of New York, Chicago, and Revolution, Matt Turner's at the top of that list. Matt Turner has more clean sheets, more saves, more everything. He has more experience in the World Cup. I'm going to take Matt Turner in this game. And if Pochettino does not choose Matt Turner, he is literally making a mistake. And I'm sorry, I'm going to say that straight up. He's making a mistake because that if he put Freeze or Bradley, or Chris Bradley, which I doubt he's going to put Chris Bradley, but if he does not put Matt Turner in this game against Paraguay or against any of the other better teams, you're not going to win. You're going to get scored on very easily. And it looked evident in the game against Germany. Matt Freeze was in that. He got scored on twice. How does that make sense? I'm telling you, if Matt Turner was in that game, he would have made more saves. Maybe not the saves of some of the shots that were taken, but at the end of the day, Matt Turner needs to start. He's got that experience. He's the veteran guy on the team. He's got that back line under control. It's no question that Matt Turner should be. But again, who knows what Pochettino's going to do? Who knows who he's going to pick for that position? At the end of the day, we have to New England, United States needs to go into Paraguay with the mindset that they need to win this game. There's no question because they're going to be next going against Australia, and then they play against who? Oh my God!
Brazil.
No, not Brazil. Oh my God! Who's in the group? Australia, Paraguay, United States, and oh my God! Wow, I'm brain farting. Either way, they need to at least beat Paraguay. They can definitely beat Paraguay. If they can at least lock up one win in a tie, they will have at least a second seed. But the ideal situation is the United States being first in their group stage, because if you get first, you play against one of the third place teams or second place teams, which most likely will be a team like Iran, because they're definitely going to get out of their group, probably in third or second. But we're going to go against playing we're going to have a game like going against Iran, which is obviously a big topic nowadays between the United States and Iran. But if they played against each other in a knockout round in the World Cup, that would be like the craziest storyline. They play against each other in sports, and they're also going against each other in war. I mean, I'm just saying I wouldn't say it's a cool like storyline, but it would be a storyline that I think people would talk about. It's like, oh, they're at war, or they're in a conflict, and they're also playing sports against each other too. I mean, I don't know. There's going to be a lot of different storylines in this World Cup. At some point, depending on how games go, it'll be Argentina versus Portugal in probably like the round of 16 quarterfinals. So that's going to be a good game to watch if they at some point meet each other in the tournament, which they most likely will. And yeah. So anything else you want to add, Aiden, before we get off the show here? Any notable players you would want to shout out, or you want to tell them what are some of the things you want to see out of the United States team against Paraguay?
Blow them out and blow their hearts out and give them a rest.
Yeah, send them packing.
And send them to
the Shadow Realm.
They belong.
Send them to the Shadow Realm. Yeah, well, if they're from Paraguay, they belong to Paraguay. That sounds kind of mean though. Don't send them back to Paraguay. They're here for the World Cup, and then if we send them back to Paraguay because they lost, then that's the best way we're gonna do it. Anyways, anything else to add, Aiden?
Let's go US. Go all the way through. Please.
Please.
If you do, you will be the next Fire
what are you saying?
World Cup, getting the trophy.
The thing is, Aiden, they have never even made it past. They've made it to, I believe, second place one time in their entire history, and that was back in like 1920. That was like 100 years ago. Here's the thing about that. The last time they got to the World Cup final was like 100 years ago. Or like 80 years ago or something crazy like that.
I think. Prove me wrong. I think this is the year United States will be won again. Since 100 years in the making, they will make history.
Exactly. And now we're gonna leave it off there, Aiden, because we're gonna watch the game against Paraguay. We're gonna watch it with very big intent, and we're gonna see what they need to do for changes, and we're gonna let you guys know what we saw in that game in the next episode of Your Bro Sports here on the channel Raftery Productions. If you are so kind and have the funds too, please consider donating to our GoFundMe to help support the channel grow and gain better equipment for the channel to help you guys have better content for the future.
And
Also,
guys, my trophy video will be coming out soon. If you guys want to watch it, or pro sport fans, if you guys want to watch it, just watch it.
exactly. Aiden will be doing his story time video coming up on Friday at 5. So stay tuned for that because it's a good one. And yeah. Also, quick announcement, real quick. We will be doing a short film video also on Friday. So stay tuned for that to be uploaded. Hopefully by the end of the week, around Sunday, or early next week, maybe Monday. So stay tuned for our first short film in a long time. And we hope you guys enjoyed the episode and all other content on the YouTube. Thank you so much for everybody who has recently subscribed, as we are now closing in on 140 subscribers. We're only 5 away from that goal, and the next goal is 250 subscribers. And then eventually, at some point, we want to reach 500, but we need your guys' help to reach those goals. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Corey.
And Eden, like always, just like I said on my episode, have a good school year and a good summer.
And thank you for watching. Have a good one and take care.